Hi, this is the video for Daf Nun Daled. This is the last daf of chapter 4. We actually, at the end of this daf, we're going to be beginning chapter 5, so congratulations to all of you who have been following us so diligently throughout Daf Shevui. Much of the daf, or at least part of the daf, is based on a mission that we haven't really learned since Daf Nun Bet, since page 52. So I thought I would go over some of that Mishnah and just note a little bit of the history of how that Mishnah was observed in post-Talmudic times. So the Mishnah is dealing with the right that a woman has to stay in her home, or her husband's home more literally, after her husband has died. And you can see here the clash in this Mishnah. Who is the clash in between? The clash is between his heirs and her. His heirs want to take the property. Perhaps they want to sell the property. Remember, his heirs, they may be his children, or her children, or, for instance, if he had two wives or she was his second wife and he had only had children with the first wife, his wife that's living in that house may not be the mother of the heirs of his estate. And another thing we should remember is that according to halacha, a wife does not inherit from her husband. So all of these are complicating matters, and the question is, who takes priority in this situation? So you can see here a machloket, a dispute between different regions in the land of Israel. The main custom seems to have been, I'm just going to read this in English, translate directly into English because the Aramaic is a little difficult. You will dwell in my house and be sustained by my property as long as you are a widow in my house. Right? We get the diuk there that she only gets that support when she's in his house and not when she moves out of the house. He's obligated to pay that, to give that right, even if he doesn't write it, because it's a court stipulation. This is the way the people of Yerushalayim, of Jerusalem, would write. And the people of Galilee would write the same way as the people of Jerusalem. So there are two regions we're hearing of so far, Jerusalem, and then probably at a later time that custom was inherited by the people of Galilee. But the people of Judah would write, until the inheritors want to give your ketubah. In other words, they have the right to initiate a separation, and if the inheritors decide that they want to kick the widow out, they can pay her the ketubah. It's their decision to make and not her decision to make. And that is a big difference. According to the people of Galilee and the people of Jerusalem, she could stay there the rest of her life. The house could be worth a tremendous amount of money or whatever it's worth, and the inheritors don't really get any share of it until she dies, which could be a long time. And according to the people of Judea, basically they could kick her out. They could give her the ketubah and they can kick her out. Hopefully the ketubah is enough to sustain her, or she can get remarried. But if not, they're not really all that concerned about her fortunes and what happens to her. There's even a saying in the Yerushalmi, in the Palestinian Talmud, about this, that the people of Judea cared for their money more than their honor, and the people of Galilee and Jerusalem cared for their honor more than for their money. Obviously, the sympathies in the Yerushalmi are with the custom to allow her to have the initiative to initiate the separation. Mordechai Akiva Friedman, in his excellent book that I've spoken about several times, Jewish Marriage in Palestine, where he studies the Ketubot in the Cairo Geniza, notes that this dispute continued both through the Talmudic period and in the post-Talmudic period as well, the initiative, there were some ketubot that gave the initiative to the wife and some ketubot that gave the initiative to the inheritors. I think in the, let's say, the post-Geniza period, some of these things became largely symbolic, so they didn't really mean as much. But we can see that this strife between the inheritors and the wife, it's really one of the linchpins to understanding the Masechet, to understanding this tractate, is when a husband, the householder, dies, who's arguing over his money and who has what rights to his money is something that we will continue to talk about later on in the Masechet.